In this video, I would like to share one experience with you. One experience I had. So maybe my issue can be also yours. If any of my videos helped you repair your car, then please hit the button super thanks. And if you want to be the first one to watch my video as it is fully uploaded, then hit the button join. Thanks. It's about 190E. The car I was working on, and I was working on the fuel distributor, etc. And afterwards the car would not start. The issue was the car first start. On first start, the car starts, but it dies and it won't start again. So the mixture, it was me who set it according to those famous 2 mils free play on the sensor plate. Well, on my surprise, the mixture was too rich. And at first, I wanted to set the mixture screw, to reset it, to make the mixture leaner. So somehow I got the car starting. At first it was shaking a lot and it would not idle. Afterwards, as I was making the mixture leaner and leaner, at some point I felt that the car is idling well. Everything was good. As if I set the mixture as it is supposed to be. I made it even leaner, and then the car started shaking, and then the detonation. But the point was, even when as I set the mixture to be as it is supposed to be, then the car was running smooth. But again, the mixture too rich. Wow. To be honest with you, I did not know what to do. Now, what was in my head? The ignition, okay, let's say it for now, okay. No vacuum leaks. As for the mechanical part of the system, the fuel tank rinsed. The strainer new. The fuel pump new. The accumulator. The fuel filter. Afterwards, the fuel distributor. I know, I was the one that was disassembling it. That was who was then washing it, reassembled it again. The injector is brand new. Let's say everything brand new. The sensors, I checked the sensors as well. Everything was fine except for the lambda, which still has to be replaced. One more thing related to the rough idle or hard starts. No matter, warm starts, cold starts, never mind. It can be this thing. And I was in the situation to see that the accelerator lever rests something like this. In this position, the micro switch, this one I'm touching with my little finger, is not activated. If your accelerator lever, with my middle finger showing, is resting like this, it must be fully like this. So the accelerator lever must be fully touching this little wheel here. Then you will have better starts, because then the ECU knows that your car is on idle, that the accelerator lever or your accelerator pedal is depressed. So never like this. This must not happen. Just like that. And that's what I've seen yesterday while I was working on that car. Remember that. I'm going to demonstrate to you afterwards the same thing. Here I have the micro switch, and let me show you what I was referring to. As we connect the switch, let me just choose here the buzzer, and now watch what happens and listen. If your switch is like this, nothing happens. Here now, listen to this now. You see? So once the switch is fully pressed, then everything is going to be fine. Just like this. And there. And if it rests something like this, or like this, then you will have bad starts, bad idle, and everything I was talking about. Again, the car refuses to start. It starts, in fact, it idles, but again, that black smoke. At one point, I asked the mechanic that was working on the car if he replaced the spark plugs. And he told me, of course, that he did. The spark plugs were all sooty, all black here. And after a break, something felt on my mind, and I asked the mechanic if he set the gap. The gap between these two electrodes. This one here and this one here. On Mercedes, it has to be 0.8 mils. Remember that well. 0.8 mils. So, between these two, if you don't know how much it is, between these two, you will have to stick eight papers A4. The ones you know, we use for various things to be printed, for the printer, you know. 8 of them you have to stick here. And this mechanic told me everything is okay. He bought these NGK spark plugs for Mercedes, everything is well here. It says how much the free play has to be, as I asked the mechanic if he set this gap between the two electrodes. I took this cover and I was reading, and nowhere I could find the information on gap. And once I saw something, it says 1/16. Aha! A 1/16 of an inch. And I told the owner, please calculate for me. Divide 2.5 mils, it's 1 inch, or 2.5 mils to 16. And he got this. Afterwards, as we checked the gap, it was 0.1 mils indeed, instead of 0.8, as the gap is supposed to be on all the Mercedes models. And I was checking also the EHA. Let's check the EHA. I checked the adjusting screw, 2 mils Allen adjustment screw. And it was 6.6 mils. Everything's fine, but the car is still running rich. I did not want to then make any readjustments on the EHA, but then I wanted to check the current on the EHA. On each CAT version, let's say 99% of all the models, you have to get CAT. We are speaking here about the catalyst versions. You have to get ignition on 20 milliamps. For non-CAT, 10. I got 0. Nada. A potato. Nothing. In fact, I'm lying, I got -0. So the polarity was reversed. I'm just a bit joking, but really then I reversed the polarity 0. Then it was not in negative range. So 0 milliamps. That means that the EHA is not getting any current from the ECU. So there was the cause. Well, then we checked according to the diagram, at first the positive, and that's the connection between the OVP, contact 87E, and contact pin number 1 on the connector of the ECU. And everything was fine. Number 2, that's the chassis ground. Number 2, fine. Number 7 as well, fine. Number 20, That's the main ground coming from the battery. Nothing. And that was the cause. After the issue with the ground was solved, the car started. It starts again, it runs. Well, as it reaches operating temperature, it dies. So the lambda is not still replaced. I will see what happens as soon as the lambda is being replaced. So now the owner has to buy new lambda and to replace it. Afterwards, I will then manage to set the car as it was supposed to be. I thought the issue was just the potentiometer because I set it approximately. And it turned out to be that the potentiometer is no issue at this stance when I had to adjust the whole system. So, long story short, if you get this issue like me, that for example you set the CO screw and the car runs smooth. When you press the accelerator, it accelerates smooth. Everything is running smooth, but again the mixture is too rich. Then check your spark plugs. Check this gap, because in this situation I believe that because of this tiny gap between the two electrodes, the spark was too bad, and the gas could not ignite well. Check that. And then, of course, always check your EHA. Ignition on, you have to get 20 milliamps afterwards, and make sure that you get 20 in positive and not in negative range. Afterwards, you start the car. As the car is on the operating temperature, then you have to get the fluctuation between 0 and negative 3 milliamps if you want the mixture to be a bit richer, or a bit leaner between 0 and positive 3 milliamps. And that's it. Always check the connections between the OVP and the ECU, because the OVP is the positive, the power supply to the ECU. And the ground is the battery. Check the contacts, the pins on the ECU number 1, 2, 7 and 20. Always check for the continuity. And then at the ignition on, check if you have voltage. And here, one more experience that can help. No, I don't know why I was telling you all of this. I believe that it cannot harm. And if it does not harm, then it can be useful for you. Wow. Okay then. See you next time. So, if you liked this video,
please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel and click the bell to be notified when we post new videos.
then I would kindly ask you not to hit the button skip ad. That is going to help me a lot. And till some next one, happy Mercedesing. Bye.